So welcome home. And welcome home to yourself. And welcome to this practice of Yoga Nidra to make space for creativity and intuitive inspiration. So the intention for this practice is to open a space for creative inspiration, and there is an option within this practice, should you choose, if it feels like a good idea to you, and only if it does feel like a good idea. There's an option for you to bring into the practice a question, an inquiry, a seeking for the next step. So whatever current creative project you may be involved in, whatever that might be in your life, seeking creative solutions in your life or working on other creative projects of whatever kind, that if you wish, you're invited to bring into the space where that's available to you within the practice, the inquiry as to what the next step might be in your life or in the project that you're calling in here. So, settling into the space, knowing that you have arrived and that being here is all that's required. There's nothing that you need to be doing that's going to make you any wiser than you already are, or nothing that you need to know that's going to render you any more perfect than you already are right now. Coming to yourself just as you are. And settling on the breath. And feeling how it is to follow the breath all the way down to the end of the exhale, as if really settling the earth of the body deeply into the earth beneath. Feeling how the weight of the body is given to the earth. Sensing how this physical body settles on the earth. And observing also now how the breath moves with fluency through the body. The way that the rivers move through the earth. Let the flow of the breath move through the earth of the body. And every breath that goes out, feel that you're settled more deeply into restful stillness. And every breath that comes in, feel that you can welcome the source of life herself. And let that flow through the earth of the body. Little rivers and streams of breath. Effortlessly allow for that flow to happen. And then setting a little space for intention, as if you could shine the light of conscious awareness down into the space of the heart. As if this inner light could set a nice little warm welcome. A warm welcome fire in the space of the heart, as if connecting with the spark of intention or inspiration creates a warmth in the heart. And into that space, inviting intuitive guidance or creative inspiration, as if there's a little space warm by the fire, in the warmth of the heart, where you could welcome in to the light of conscious awareness whatever inspiration or creative guidance is required, simply by bringing in the question as to what might be the next step, with no expectation of an answer, with no expectation or requirement. It's as if you bring into the warmth of the heart the space for creativity, the space for intuitive guidance. And you hold that space there warm in the heart, knowing that when she's needed, she'll show up. And you have a space there warm for her. And that same warm welcome, which exists now in the space of the heart for intuitive guidance or creative inspiration, that same warm welcome now can be extended through the whole of the space of the body, as if the awareness could be set free to travel through the spaces of the body, as if the light of conscious awareness could be shining there like so many little stars. And as the awareness travels, it's as if the little stars begin to shine in each part of the body until the constellation of the whole body is shining brightly, beginning with the star at the space between the eyebrows, at the space between the collarbones, at the space of the right shoulder, the right elbow and wrist. And lights are shining on the tip of the right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Inside the space of the right wrist and elbow and shoulder, back between the two collarbones, and all the way over to shine those little lights, little starlight, twinkling in the left shoulder, elbow and wrist, and the tip of the left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Inside the left wrist, elbow and shoulder. And back to the space between the two collarbones, as if now both arms, hands and head were shining with the lights, the starlight of conscious awareness in the night sky of the body. And then the awareness travels down, in behind the back of the center of the breastbone, and in behind the left breast, and in behind the back of the center of the breastbone, and in behind the right breast, and in behind the back of the center of the breastbone. A bright star shining in the space of the heart, and one in the belly, behind the navel, and then another shining down in the pelvis, behind the pubic bones in the center of the pelvis, starlight shining there, and over on the right hip, knee, ankle, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Back inside the right ankle, knee and hip, and over in the space of the pelvis, and then to the stars that shine at the left hip, knee, ankle, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Inside the left ankle, knee and hip, and back to the pelvis now, as if both of the legs and the pelvis were shining with the light of conscious awareness like so many stars in the night sky of the body. let the awareness travel back up to the star that shines in the belly and back up to the star that shines in the center of the chest at the heart space. And then back up to the star that shines between the two collarbones in the center of the throat and in the center of the head at the level of the space between the two eyebrows. And then onto the crown of the head. Bring the awareness to the crown of the head, and in the space of awareness, which is Yoga Nidra, let the whole body rest. Constellation of shining stars in the night sky of the body. And invite the awareness to settle back into the center of the head, to the star that shines there. And invite the awareness to settle back into the center of the throat at the star that shines there. And then allow the awareness to come home to the deep heart's core, to the star that shines in the center of the heart space. Welcome home. Welcome into the space of awareness, which is Yoga Nidra. Sense, with every breath that comes in, as if there could be an expansion in the spaces between the stars, so that when the breath comes in, it's as if the stars move a little bit higher up in the sky of the body and a little bit wider apart. And when the breath goes out, it's as if the light of all of the stars that shine comes to gather together in the space of the heart. So with each inhale, there's more space between each star and her neighbour, and they open out a little or a lot. And with each out-breath, it's as if all of the light of all of the stars gathers into a single potent tiny light in the space of the heart behind the back of the middle of the breastbone. And breathe between these two different experiences. On the breath in, an expansion. And on the breath out, from that spacious expansion, a gathering of all of the light of all of the stars into the space of the heart behind the back of the breastbone. Breathe between those two. And then invite into the witness consciousness the possibility that both those two different experiences could coexist. That there would be spaciousness and single-pointed focus at the same time. Radiance of this wide expanse of the constellation, expanded. And at the same time a single point of focus in the center of the heart. So how would that be? To be radiant, expansive and single-pointed in focus at the same time. What would that be like? Where would that be? letting go of that exploration, simply bring the focus of attention back into the space of the heart, the light gathered there, and coming into the space of awareness, which is Yoga Nidra, simply resting the awareness in the warmth of the deep heart's core, in that space where creative inspiration, where intuitive guidance is welcome. Into the space that was held to welcome intuitive guidance and creative inspiration, return to that space and simply feel the presence in the space of the heart, perhaps of that intuitive guidance or creative inspiration, and perhaps a sense of whatever that next step might be. And know also that in this space you're free to return and to welcome intuitive guidance at any point that she's called for. You simply know there is a warmth, there is a space, there is a welcome in the space of the heart for creative inspiration, for intuitive guidance, whatever is most appropriate, arising as and when she's needed. And feel into the presence, simply now, of whatever it might be that brings joy into your life. Whatever place, person, plant, creature, whatever it is that brings joy. Simply welcome the feeling of gladness that accompanies the recollection of that joy. And let that be like an inner smile that integrates through the whole of you, all of you. Breathing into that. And with that breath, breathing and externalizing the awareness into a more everyday state of consciousness, realizing the intention of the practice of having held space for creativity, and that space is something that exists for you to return to, for the guidance to enter at any point that's needed. So carrying that out with you as we come towards the end of this practice of Yoga Nidra. Take a little gentle stretch and a warmth, and it's as if as you breathe you can carry the fragrance of the practice out with you. This practice is now concluded. Thank you for listening. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you. Thank you.